Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to do a quick video to go over today's update to the Namalsk Incident server. The biggest part of the update is definitely the inclusion of fire anomalies, a completely new system built from scratch that has random anomalies spawn across the map. These are interactable and you can extract their cores for character buffs. The system will be expanded upon with multiple different types of anomalies across the next few weeks. Of course, interacting with these anomalies require caution as they are quite dangerous. I've included the dark motorbike helmets that have blacked out visors. I've also removed all exclusions to clothing slots for these helmets. So you can wear a head torch, you can wear an APSI, you can even do this. Even though it looks a little stupid with the gas mask filter sticking out, it doesn't matter. It makes the helmets useful at least. And they're not that bad actually compared to a ballistic helmet. Not the same amount of protection from bullets, but a decent amount of protection from both melee and the infected. I also added the Yellow King's motorbike helmet just for fun. The light from flashlights have been significantly increased. Here's the normal head torch light. Here is the flashlight. So it's got a much bigger cone to it. And it's not a bad melee either. I've ramped up the damage quite significantly so it can heavily stun the infected. Like a military mag light. So it's actually a useful item right now. I never used to pick these up, so that's a welcome change. So the Psyblast mushroom buff has been changed quite significantly. I've decreased the cooldown and max health cost from it and increased its damage and audibility, so zombies and mutants will aggro from further away when using it. I'm currently on a tier 2, which is too far away, but they will aggro. As you can see, the damage is quite substantial, but you gotta be aware of spamming it. As you can see, my health is dropping significantly, but way more usable than it used to be, for sure. Also, I've decreased the wound and pain accumulation when using the Berserker mushroom buff. So it's way more useful now. The problem before was when you had prolonged fights in melee, you would accumulate all of these wounds and bleeds and render the Berserker kind of useless. This makes it way more useful and you can stay in the fight for longer. I'm currently on a tier 2 mushroom buff, and as you can see, it's really effective. The different types of Gnars now have their own mutant drops, just so you can differentiate the pricing at the traders. So here you have the head of a regular Gnar, the acid Gnar, and the bigger mother Gnar. Research Dungeon has had its mutants recalibrated a little bit. I thought it was a little too easy, lacking the bigger fights. It was just a slow trickle of mutants, and some of the lesser mutants have been removed from its mutant spawn pool. Athena 2 has also been rebalanced a little bit. I removed the easier mutants, and I removed some of the zombie spawns around the compound and centered the spawns that remain, just so you don't have these constant respawns of zombies as you're doing the dungeon itself. The efficacy of the frost resistance has been doubled because there was little to no effect in trying to max out this ability. Now you will definitely feel the difference if you get this to like half full or so. You should definitely feel a difference. I changed the names and descriptions of these containers right here, just to have them be more consistent and coherent. Because yeah, some of these had some really weird names and descriptions before. Prevalence of snow and fog events have been increased. I think it's a little too many blue skies and happy days on here, to be fair. That should help in setting the tone and atmosphere for the server a little bit. And a couple of bug fixes. The mother NAR didn't spawn in the deep south, now she does. And the APSI couldn't be stored in the personal storage with a battery. And now it can. Well, that's it for today's update. I hope to see you on the server and have a good one.